watching, the watcher's watching me. Cameras spinning, eyes, no place to be free. High towers whisper to the ground below. Promises broken where the taxes grow. C.S.I. watchdogs sniff the trail, follow the lies where the big dogs fail. Truth uncovered, corruption's face. Tear down the mask in the shadow place. Tear down the mask in the shadow place.
Through open dialogue, I want to specifically acknowledge the collaborative efforts.
There used to be a sign in front of the Red Wolf back before it was the Red Wolf, and it was a post. It was a 4x4 post, I guess, and it was wrapped. And you know what it said? The center of the universe. And oftentimes people refer to Cohutta as the center of the universe, which sounds kind of strange, but we really are. You know, we're nearly equal distance from Chattanooga, we're equal distance from Dalton, Cleveland, we're in close proximity to a lot of metropolitan large areas, and we're a great community. We come together when there's hard times and there's issues that need to be addressed. And over here to my right, we have some of our business owners that are an extremely important part of our community. And they're concerned about what goes on here, and I'm glad they're here this morning to hear what's going on and to address whatever concerns they have. We stay in close communication with them because we rely on them, and we support them and are concerned about their businesses, and we want more people to come to our community. People say it's kind of like Mayberry here sometimes, and you know, we really are. People care about one another. We're a small community. We're 800 people, but we love the citizens here. We love our community. We love our country. And each year we put on a 4th of July event that brings in anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000 people into our little community. Chief Fowler could tell you where all those people park. I have no idea. But we have a great thing going on here. And, you know, we work through issues, and I know we've had this issue, and I'm grateful for the support of the community and for the police department, our town attorney. And I did want to, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Melissa, who was with us this morning organizing this Cohutta Town Fair, which celebrates one of our 4 events this year, celebrating the America 250. We're going to have a parade, vendors, music, and a variety of things going on. And that's who we are. And so I do appreciate everyone being here. And I know our attorney might address some questions and things later, but thank you very much for coming, and appreciate all of you being here today.
All right. Anything else? I'll field questions after they finished. If anybody wants to come up and talk to me, I'm here for questions. Appreciate it, everyone. I don't think so. I mean, excuse me, sir.
Sorry.
They still having a meeting at 11 o'clock?
Do what?
Are you think they're still having a meeting at 11 o'clock?
I can't
Are
understand.
they going to have a meeting at 11 o'clock today?
A meeting at 11 o'clock?
Supposed to be a meeting at 11.
I have no idea.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm Brian.
Nice to see you. Good question. Yes, so basically just spent some time in the unit, I'm sure that they also are going to resolution. I want to know if you can just add extra specific questions about
all around things, I was just doing something, I turned one thing, and the foot hit turn, hit my knee.
Or would that be better for everybody?
Oh, yeah.
I have a quick question, sir. Are you still having a meeting at 11 o'clock this morning?
No, we're not.
You're not, you're canceling the meeting?
Yeah. We didn't want to cram too many things together.
So when's the meeting going to take place?
That'll be our regular council meeting, the second Tuesday in May, which I believe is May 12th.
May 12th?
And it'll be right here at 6 o'clock.
At this building?
Yes. And you're who?
I'm with C.S.I.
CSI?
Yeah.
What-
Citizens sharing information.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Yeah, come on out.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So anyway, all right, I'm ready. Yeah.
Alrighty. So first starting off, sir, can you just give us your first and your last name, spell it out for us, and give us your title, please?
Yeah. So my name is Brian Rayburn. It's BRYAN, RAYBURN, and I'm the town attorney for Cohutta.
Okay. So, Brian, I know that the mayor just recently stated that for any legal questions that we would have to go to you first. My first question for you is, how did we get here? How did we get to this press conference when just a few days ago it seemed like the complete opposite? Police officers thought that they were actually going to lose their job. How did we get here today where they're saying there's peace, there's transparency, and we're working together with the mayor?
Yeah, I think it speaks to the collaborative effort between the mayor and the police department, especially Chief Fowler, wanting to get this resolved. I don't think the goal, and I think the police officers would tell you the same thing, the goal of this was not to file a lawsuit, get mixed up in litigation. It was to get some process moving. And that's what's happened. And so I think with my encouragement for them to speak about this, to see if a resolution could be reached, they reached it. So I think it just speaks to their character and their ability to get this done without having to create a huge mess.
And then that resolution that they reached, what is that
I'm sorry.
resolution?
Do you mind doing the first question one more time? I was having a problem with my camera. I'm sorry, but we're good now.
Okay. All right. So redo. Let's just talk about how did we get here? How did we get to this resolution?
Okay. So again, I think that speaks to the collaborative effort between Mayor Shinnick and the Chief of Police, Greg Fowler. I think it speaks to their character in wanting to get this resolved without creating interruption or a huge mess. I don't think it was the goal of the police officers, and I think they would tell you the exact same thing. It was never the goal to get caught up in litigation or to create a huge mess for the town. It was to get the process rolling on getting someone else involved in this position so that their complaints and their concerns were timely addressed. And they were. And I think that was the best thing that could have happened, is that we kind of put a lid on this and answered their complaints and questions as soon as we could. And that's what they did.
And then the follow-up question, which we already talked about before, is the mayor's wife still occupying that job, and does she still have access to the police officer's sensitive documents?
No. So my understanding, and I think I spoke with Leah about this yesterday, is that all of her access has been shut off. She no longer has access to town hall. She has no access to usernames, passwords, private information, anything like that. So she is not, I don't know when her last day was, but she has not set foot in here. She no longer has access.
Can you clarify what the resolution consists of, and does that entail a plan to potentially train up multiple people to be able to take on the clerk's role so this situation doesn't happen again?
Yeah, so, and you and I spoke yesterday, and I think part of the problem is that the town was put between a rock and a hard place. We had, on one hand, the town clerk being dismissed from her position. On the other hand, we still had town business that had to be conducted. That means paying bills. That means making sure payroll gets timely paid. And one of the issues that we ran into in January is that she was dismissed from her position, and for 2 weeks, we didn't have anyone who could handle payroll. And so when the police officers ended up complaining about not getting paid on time, that was part of the problem that we were facing. And so the mini solution for a period of time was to bring Mrs. Shinnick back under supervision so that the business of the town could be completed. And so moving forward, our resolution was that she would immediately cease her limited role in fulfilling those town duties. That Melissa, our part-time employee, would come in and start handling those, which she has been doing for a time now. And moving forward, our plan is not to run into this situation again. So we know we have one town clerk, that's a position for one person, but we want to have multiple people trained so that if that person goes on vacation or if they have a medical emergency or whatever may happen, that we have someone who can slide right in and do that. Now, I will report as of this morning that we have outsourced all of our payroll to a payroll company. So that's not going to be an issue anymore because it will no longer be part of the town clerk's duties.
Got it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to follow up that time period when she came back, even in a limited capacity to do the job. Do you think that was because she was given preferential treatment due to her relationship with the mayor to be able to come in and continue to work after she was terminated?
I don't think so. I think it was more to the effect of she had been in the position for so long, she knew how to do everything. We had nobody who could step in and do that. We have a member of the town council who's somewhat trained on that, but she's got her own duties, her own job, her own things, and so I don't agree with that. I think if it had been anyone, we probably would have been in a situation where we would have had to hold on to them for a little bit. Most people give you a 2-week notice, before they leave. She was fired. She couldn't do that. We were just in an impossible situation.
And just kind of talking about, this morning, what do you want the community to kind of take out of this message that you guys are sending this morning? I know there's a lot of business owners here, community members, as you guys are, resolving the situation.
Well, it's kind of like what Mayor Shinnick said in there. I think that it shows this is a small community, and that's not a bad thing because at times we can come together and we can fix these problems quicker than maybe a larger community can. I think that maybe if this had happened in Atlanta or even in Chattanooga, that we would be facing months-long issues, but we were able to kind of nip this in the bud immediately. And so the message that I hope people will receive from this is that everyone can work together. If people have complaints, sure, bring them forward. Let us look at them. But let's reach an amicable solution so we can all move forward.
Right, you don't expect any outside, mediation from the county or from the states.
No, I don't.
I have a question.
Sure.
I haven't heard it addressed that the actual firing that took place in closed session was not legal action because this is a strong mayor government, which means he has sole authority for hiring and firing.
Yeah. So
how does that come into play?
So that has to be read in context with the charter. So there's a large conflicts provision in the town of Cohutta's charter that actually cedes that ability to the council in certain circumstances. So that's all I can really say about that. I would encourage you to read the charter. If you've got any other questions, I'm happy to address them. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is there an explanation as to why the mayor didn't really delve into this situation during his when he was talking this morning?
What do you mean?
He just didn't address it too much, and I know he directed you to talk about it. If you could explain that.
Well, I think that Mayor Shinnick, Chief Fowler, and I met this morning. Chief Fowler had stayed up late last night working on a statement that I thought was a very good statement. And after us speaking, I think Chief Fowler kind of hit all the major points. So, Mayor Shinnick, I think he did his best to address those issues. But if you have any questions that you want him to answer, I'm happy to talk to him about it.
That's it.
Anybody else?
I was just going to ask you,
That's
too,
all right.
real quick. She was terminated in January.
That's correct.
And fairly recently was not doing her duties anymore. What's the, timeline wise?
Yeah, so-
you said that somebody else came in recently, but you didn't specify when. And it's like almost, 4 months plus.
Yeah.
So what was the?
So January 13th, I believe, was the council session where she was terminated. There was a 2 or 3 week period thereafter where no town business was getting done. I mean, bills weren't getting paid, payroll wasn't being timely processed, and so we knew we had a problem on our hands. And when I say we, the council and the mayor knew that they had a problem on their hands, and so that's when that mini solution I talked about earlier kind of came into effect. Let's bring her back under some supervision. That way we can, not have creditors screaming down our neck. As for when she completely left her position, I don't have an exact date for that. I haven't even asked. I do know that as far as Melissa has been here Tuesdays and Thursdays for over a month. And so I know it's at least been a month that she's been processing all the work for the town clerk position. So if I had to guess, it would be sometime in late March that Ms. Shinnick was no longer here.
Also, I know that the police officers did mention to, I'm pretty sure all of us, that they were going into this meeting expecting to be fired. Can you just talk about what is your conversation with them, just protecting them legally about how that wouldn't necessarily be normal if that were to happen just because they spoke up?
Yes, sir. Are you referring to the comment that was made that I said yesterday was taken out of context?
I don't think you told us that.
Okay, all right. So my understanding is that a lot of the police officers heard through the grapevine that they were going to be terminated because of the letters that they wrote. And I think the comment from Mayor Shinnick was taken out of context. When he met with Chief Fowler, he initially walked in and he said, I could fire everybody here if I wanted to, but I don't want to do that. Okay, I want us to be unified. I want us to, be a town. And under our town charter, he is allowed. He's allowed to hire everyone and he's allowed to fire everybody. So I mean, he's not inaccurate, I guess, with saying that. But as far as the police officers are concerned, I know why they wrote the letters. They wanted to get some action, and I get that. And I'm not saying what they did was wrong. But I have spoken to a few of them, not all of them, but I just let them know that, they needed to speak their voice if they wanted to. They did. And I don't think at any point any of them genuinely thought that their jobs were in jeopardy. Now, if they did, they didn't address that with me.
Last question from me. I just want to know, since the officers in the letters felt like their rights were kind of violated in a way because of her having access to sensitive documents, does she get any further repercussions legally for doing that or no?
So the mayor does have the ability, I guess, to hire and fire employees, but does he also have to have a legitimate reason to do that?
Well, sure. I mean,
so would them, presenting letters be a legitimate reason for him to be able to fire them or bring that statement up?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think them exercising their, First Amendment right in filing complaints is a valid reason to fire anybody. And I think the mayor would agree with me.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
So you would agree that First Amendment rights are very important with the community?
I do, yeah.
So by the police officers writing a letter, they would be exercising their First Amendment rights and grievances, because otherwise you'd never go forward with knowing anything that's going on in the county.
Yeah, and I mean, as I addressed in our initial statement, I mean, we always take any complaints that we receive seriously. They're immediately addressed, typically within 24 hours, unless it falls on a Friday, and then we address it on a Monday. We always welcome that. I mean,
So it's very important for transparency for the community.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else?
Good.
All right.
I have a question. No. Hey, hang on, you guys. I want to share something with you just for a minute, okay?
Is he doing anything?
I didn't think he was, but.
Okay.
Well, let me get the microphone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Y'all make me look pretty.
Thank you so much.
Hey, just to show we appreciate you coming, we want to share some cups with you. You know, the motto of Cohutta is there ain't no place like it.
Thank you so much.
So, Pat, we have stuck in there. Yeah. We want you to come back when there's more pleasant things to discuss and be part of the crowd.
Council meeting.
Okay, thank you.
I can't take any, I'm sorry.
You can't?
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, you already got some?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe when you're on the news in the morning, on the weekends too, that's when I see you.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I see you there, you can put it out there and say, yeah, there ain't no place like that. We even brought you good weather today, so.
Mayor, were you doing any interviews today?
No, I won't, and maybe at a future day, I will.
Okay.
Especially at the 4th of July and, the American 250 parade on Saturday.
Alrighty. And then were any officers doing any one-on-one interviews with us, or would that just be for us to ask them?
Yeah, it would be up for you to ask them.
Okay.
I think that, I don't know. I can't speak for that.
Okay, got it.
So,
Thank you. Thank you.
it is not there.
Oh, it's not.
It's because they were.
Danny, give one of those.
Okay.
All right. Yes, sir.
I don't think I have to file up there.
That was our agreement with Lieutenant Fowler. That was the agreement with everybody, that once we did this, everybody's unified, and we're going to talk in the executive session.
Okay.
And finish up everything, because of course we can't meet with the council because it was a called meeting.
Yeah.
So there was going to be a called meeting today at 11, but since that was before everything got mediated.
Got it.
So we're going to have a more formalized meeting like it should be.
Okay.
So the next called council meeting, I would be at it.
Okay.
And
Do you know when that is, by chance?
well, it should be advertised on the Town of Cohutta's page.
May 12th.
I should make sure he was all right. Yeah.
Do you guys have any comments about just the results of today?
Look forward to moving forward. Happy. We want peace. Transparency. So it's positive. The mayor, I don't know if y'all will remember, the mayor's Lieutenant Brian Fowler. The mayor made it a point to come to us for a resolution. I'm proud that he's always been transparent, at least with my dealings with him, even when the mayor and I had our differences in the past. We were adults, professionals, we worked through it, and this time it happened again, like it should, like you would expect, to make government continue to work as it should. And so this is very, very positive for everyone, and we look forward to continued transparency, not only from the executive branch, but all branches of the government here in Cohutta. So there had been some issues in the past with records being filed and different things that were not timely from different offices. And so we believe that this is all going to be rectified, because we know that that's been a point of contention for a lot of the citizens who have filed. So we believe that with the right personnel getting interviewed and into a position, once they figure that out on their side, that Cohutta will be where it should be. Not that it's not already, but there has been question and people not having faith in us up here. and we're a growing community. It's a great community. A lot of homes are going in. As the mayor said, we're centralized in a lot of different businesses, and this is going to be booming. Cohutta, this Mayberry look is not going to look like Mayberry in 10 years. And so we have no choice but to embrace change, move forward, and get with 2026 and beyond and what citizens expect.
I know that the attorney mentioned to all of us that just because you guys spoke up for you all's rights never means that you guys would have the right to get fired.
That's
like,
correct.
Ever.
At no point was the jobs in jeopardy. I think that got misconstrued somewhere. That always is an option. We're an at-will state, but that was never on the table. I can guarantee that in my conversations with the mayor, even in the past, that's never been an issue. The mayor has always been fair, and I just want to point that out because some outlets have made it sound like that it was his way or the highway. It wasn't that way. The jobs were never in jeopardy, and we're gainfully employed, happily employed, and there's no problems. Nobody's got anything hanging over their heads.
I know when I've talked with a couple officers over the past few days, I mean, there's been a lot of, oh, sorry. There's, are you good?
Yeah.
Just after talking with the officers over the past few days, it just seems like a situation many were really passionate about and really upset with. And so here today with this resolution, can you say you're genuinely satisfied?
We're satisfied. Yes, everything that we have requested seems to be coming to fruition. And again, those requests will be outlined in the executive session because it is a personnel matter, and by law it can't be discussed outside of that realm. But we're satisfied, and we're holding up our side. We rescinded the letter willingly. There was no coercion. We did that on our own. Everybody had signed, and so we expect the same when it comes time to the table with the council and everybody that it moves forward on their side positively. And so to add, we are a close-knit community. A lot of these officers here live close by. We're part of this community. I myself and others, if we don't live in the city, we're just on the outskirts. So what happens here matters to us. We've always said if you come to Cohutta, it's because you want to be here. We're off the beaten path. We're not a highway community. And so we're here because we want to be here, and because, too, we're allowed to be here. I mean, so we're thankful for the opportunity to serve citizens.
I know with there being like a period with you guys like not getting paid because, that whole situation that happened. Now the attorney told us that everything's just like back to normal.
It is. I can verify that the town has gone to a new payroll service. It's external from the city. It's going to be a company handling that. And so, as we called it in my master's program, we had a single point of failure because where somebody else could not fill in the roles, that has been addressed. And so I know as of effective yesterday, all the paperwork was signed by the mayor, and the council lady, Ms. Claver, took care of that. And so we're moving to a payroll service here in the very near future where timely things are done.
I know Chief Fowler brought up just like how this is a lot of officers' like main job, and like they have families to support. Going into this meeting, what was your conversation like with your family going into this meeting, knowing that everything was settled? Because I know that, of course, you depend on this livelihood, but also they depend on you all as well.
They do, and there are officers here that this is their main 100% source of income. Times are hard, economy's rough, and people do live, paycheck to paycheck. It's the way of life. It doesn't matter where you're at on the hierarchy of what you make. Times are hard, and so for myself and being a supervisor here, it makes me feel good that the officers won't have to worry. Nobody should have to be concerned if they're going to meet their power bill or water bill, their rent. So as far as my family goes, it's positive. Nobody wants drama, and so it's we don't have that to be concerned with, in our opinion, moving forward.
Last question from me. I just want to say I did ask the attorney, would there be any further repercussions for the former town clerk for her accessing sensitive documents, violating you all's rights? He said no, but she is terminated. Is there any reaction to her not having to really face any repercussions outside for being terminated?
In my heart, Ms. Shinnick, former clerk, had no ill will to do anything with that data. Our main concern was that if any of the data was on, any computers outside town hall, it would not be protected. And what I'm not worried about her so much is the cyber attacks that are going on. Just recently, just this week, Carnival Cruise Lines was hit. So if you can hit a company like Carnival Cruise Lines and get millions of people's data, it wouldn't be hard for somebody to hack a small town or community. Nobody's immune from it. Just a few years ago, the Georgia Department of Public Safety in the state of Georgia was hit. So that was our only concern, that it wasn't Ms. Shinnick at all. It was just the fact that town data needs to stay inside the town on a secure server, of which we do pay an outside vendor to handle for us. And so I discussed that with the mayor in a meeting, and so had the other three parties, and we were promised that moving forward, that item in particular would be purged, the data, and moved back to where it should be.
Thank you.
See you in person.
Hope I don't look too bad. I worked last night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.